My name is Jasmine Sandlas, and I'm a singer and songwriter. And I've been making music for about 10 years. Before we get started, I want to ask you guys a question. Has anybody in this room ever felt confused about life? Like, what to do next, what career choice to make, what is the purpose of life, what is the point of it all? Yeah, let me see your hands. My hand's up too, so which means I have no idea either. I could have come here with a little rule book of success, how I did it, and what you can do to do great in your life. But to be honest, my life has been a series of trial and error. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and the bigger the mistake, the better the lesson. And today, I'm here to share my experiences with you guys, because I feel like sharing your experience with the world is the most valuable gift that you can ever give. Over the 10 years that I've made music, I've learned one thing, that it's been the choices that I've made that have brought me here in my life. Choices is what I want to talk about today. Some choices, however, are not made by you. Where you're born, are you rich, are you poor? What's your religion, what's your caste? And a lot of other meaningless stuff, yeah? My life took a big turn when I was 12 years old and my parents decided to move to California. I was born in Punjab, and then all of a sudden we moved across the world to California. This was a choice that wasn't made by me, but it had a big impact on how my life turned out, especially as an artist. I went to California, the world was so free. Everybody said what they wanted to say, they wore what they wanted. Especially the artists in California, they were screaming individuality, which was unlike anything I had seen growing up in India. So the choice that was made for me was the hand that was dealt. And I wanted to use that to my advantage. I could do whatever I wanted to do. I was in California. So I did it. I did it all. I started writing songs at the age of 16. I started looking for people, fellow musicians that I could collaborate with, that would help me put my music out. I started creating goals. I feel is really important. You guys think so? Like making lists, visualizing what you want in your future, where you see your life. Am I doing good? Setting your goals is really important, and from a very young age, when I was 16, I started writing down lists every day. These are the 3 things I'm gonna do today. These are the 10 things I'm gonna accomplish this year. I'm a Virgo, so I can't help it. I have to make lists and keep everything organized. So setting goals was really important to me from a young age, and my first goal was, I just wanted to hear how I would sound on a beat. How would my voice sound on a piece of music? How was I gonna do that? I couldn't make music. I barely learned how to write. I used to see these hip-hop artists in California outside of gas stations and liquor stores with their demos, and they would be handing them out, selling them, handing them out, trying to showcase their talent to anybody that walked in the gas station and liquor store. What a strange situation, right? It was such a hustler's mentality that I saw in California. And I said, I'll do that same thing too. Instead of liquor stores and gas stations, I went to clubs in San Francisco. I was not 21 yet, so they didn't allow me in the club. So I would wait outside until 2:30 a.m. till all the drunk people walked out of clubs, and I would hand them my demos with my name and number on it. This choice that I made of jump-starting my career as a musician led me to Muskan, which was my very first song. Then I did an album. So everything was great. I was recording every day, trying to record this album. I was shooting videos. I was performing in California. Life was so good. I was living the dream. And then it all came crashing down. I thought that was rock bottom. My team, my so-called team that I was working with, a lot of misunderstandings happened, a lot of chaos happened, and they filed a lawsuit against me. I was too young for it. I couldn't handle the stress. And I had just gotten started. This was just the beginning of my journey as an artist. I had a long way to go, and they shut me down. So if I lost that lawsuit, the judge was gonna place an injunction on me, which means that I wouldn't be able to do music anymore because I'm unethical and I'm not a good human being or whatever that means, right? And I lost. I lost the lawsuit. Can you believe it? I lost it all. I lost my voice. I couldn't sing anymore. I was defeated. The next choice I had to make was, am I going to let this valley destroy me? Or am I going to let this valley teach me a lesson that's going to make me a stronger, more equipped human being to handle the stresses that are so inevitable, right? So guess what I did? I fought back. I countersued them. And as you can guess from my confidence, I won the case. I won the right to make music again, and I won my voice back. It was a great day. I felt so good in my life. I felt so proud in my life. The next thing I had to do was I had to make a comeback. Somebody's trying to defeat me. Somebody's trying to destroy me. So what do I do as a dreamer? I gotta fight back. And gotta fight back, I gotta have a plan. I better have a better plan than I had before. I better go stronger, harder, faster, because that's the only way I was gonna survive in this world where people were trying to destroy this little dreamer. I was a threat to nobody. And they did this to me, right? And this was just one of the valleys, by the way. But I put my blinders on. I put my focus. I started to focus more than ever before. What did I need to do next? I started writing more. I started working with more musicians. I started putting out music. I didn't care if labels wanted me or not. I didn't care if radios played me or not. I started putting out music on YouTube, MySpace, Facebook, anywhere I could connect with the world. And I put out so much music that year. I wrote like 80 songs. That's a lot, right? I wrote so many songs. I haven't been able to write like that before that instance and after that instance. So that valley taught me so much more than any peak could have. So look, when I got sued, right, my dad used to work at the court where they filed the lawsuit. And he saw it firsthand, how stressed I was. And I saw firsthand how stressed he was that his little baby is being sued. It wasn't so much that I'm stressed out. When I saw my dad stressed out and worry about me every single day, asking me, how's it going? What are you gonna do now? That made me so upset. That made me so uncomfortable that some other human being had the audacity to make my father feel this way. But my parents do have a beautiful, beautiful part to play in my career. They never believed in me. Never, ever, ever. And they saw me fall flat on my face with this lawsuit thing. They said, look, we told you so. You shouldn't be doing these things. You don't know music. You're not trained. You don't have any connections in the industry. What are you doing? Just study psychology. Finish your degree. Become a teacher, like my mom. Go to law school, like my dad. But I was a rebel, right? I wanted to do what felt so good. I had so much to say. How could I be just anybody if I was meant to be an artist? I've come such a long way, and I have turned my parents around. Have you guys ever faced, something like this where you're like, man, I could fail. It's more likely that I'm gonna fail than not, but I'm gonna believe in myself. It's hard to do that, right? It's like the hardest thing to do, to believe in yourself when nobody else believes in you. And I think I'm such a mommy's girl, I'm such a daddy's girl, like it was the only approval I ever needed. And they didn't give it to me. So I worked so hard, I told my mom, I was like, until you tell me I've done enough, I'm not gonna stop. And I think that's been my biggest strength till date, because I'm still trying to make my mom proud, still trying to make her believe that the decisions I took, the choices that I made in my life, they weren't the choices that she imagined that I would make. She wanted me to live a safe life, come home at 5 p.m. and, live, have a couple kids and, just be a good girl, And here I am, traveling the world. There were a lot of years in my life I had no money, right? I had to shoot the videos. I had to make it happen. So I started to ask my friends. I was like, hey, let me get a couple $1,000s though. I gotta shoot this video. I had a friend rent a camera, shoot the video. I had my best friend do my makeup. She would create my outfits. My brother would drive us around to locations where we would shoot guerrilla style because we had no money to get permissions to shoot in San Francisco or anywhere in California. They're very good videos. A lot of passion, a lot of time, a lot of love went into those videos when we had nothing. We had no choice but to make it. All this music that I put out, all the choice of me putting out the music independently, and people watch, artists watch, the world watches you. When you're cornered and when you're defeated, when you're lost, confused, what are the decisions you make then are the ones that are the most important. And I decided to persevere. I was like, let's just wing it. I might fail again, or I might not. And I was positive, I had a vision, and I kept on putting out music. And that choice of me putting out music independently, without the budgets, without the labels, without the radios, brought me Yaar Na Miley. So when Yaar Na Miley happened, everybody was so excited. Oh my God, this new girl, this new voice, what a fresh face. So I got a lot of opportunities. I was so thankful, I was so grateful. A lot of people wanted to work with me. Now, from having nobody wanting to work with me, everybody wants to work with me. I had a choice to make. I got 3 movie offers. I got maybe 8 to 9 songs. They were pretty big songs. They're already out. They're already released. I decided to not do those songs. Because when the whole world was watching this new singer, this new voice, this new face, what I said next was the most important. Believe me, dropping a banger has its perks. You get fame, you get the money, you get the recognition, you get it all. But I had something else to say. I had a message that I felt like right now in my life, everybody's tuned into me. What do I say now? I'm proud of Yaar Na Miley. I wrote the song, composed the song, I sung the song. I'm proud of it. But there are so many more important things that I want to say when Yaar Na Miley becomes the #1 song in Bollywood. So I wrote a song called Punjab De Javak, which was a song that I wanted to write and release to inspire the youth of Punjab to follow their dreams and not fall victim to the barriers of society. I wanted to inspire them. Look at me. Be free of this. Don't look at that. Look inside. What makes you happy? Do that. Make your dreams come true. Because at the end of the day, that's all you have is your legacy that you're building. Every single day, work towards something that's going to make you feel proud that you lived a good life. So in a nutshell, Punjab De Javak was that song. And I felt in my heart that I needed to say that when Yaar Na Miley was playing everywhere in the world and people were jamming to it, dancing to it, because they're going to search what I do next, of course. So I did that. That was a choice that I made. It made me feel good. I tasted some fame in my life. I tasted some money in my life. I've seen the world change. When you're successful, when you're a failure, I've seen it. I'm sure I'm going to see a lot more of that in the future. But nothing feels better to me than leaving an impact on a little kid, on a young girl who says, when I heard your song, I decided that I'm also going to pursue my dreams now. When I heard your song, it cheered me up. I hear your songs as soon as I wake up because they're about life and they're about inspiration and they're about love and they're about living a life that you truly deserve. It's something that makes me feel good, and that feels better to me than the fame and the money. So ever since I started writing songs, I used to always depict a very strong woman in my songs. I wrote so many songs about heartbreak where the girl doesn't care. She's like, you want to go? Go. I don't need you. I wrote so many songs about rebellion in your heart. So the choice that I made to write songs about strong women brought me this beautiful project from MTV, MTV Angels of Rock. This was a travel documentary about women empowerment, where me along with these three beautiful ladies, they're singers as well, we traveled on bullets from Bombay to Delhi. And we visited small villages in India where women were doing exceptional things that needed to be showcased to the world. That show changed my life. It made me feel so good. I visited villages that I didn't even know the names of, Piplantri. I fell in love with India all over again. Success. I don't know what the right path is, but I do know that you must define your own success in your own terms. Fame and money is success. Then you gotta face the consequences. You can't blame anybody because you made that choice to live your life based on somebody else's terms. And I feel that there's nothing better, there's nothing more empowering than making your own mistakes, learning from your own mistakes, living a life that you design yourself, defining success in your own terms. What would make you happy? How do you visualize your life? What are your goals? What is your legacy? When you're old and gray and when you're gone and nobody remembers your name, what is the impact that you left on this world? That's what I feel. The little bit that I've learned in my life, that's what I feel is success. That when you move somebody, when you inspire somebody, because people will forget everything, right? But they won't forget how you made them feel. I read that somewhere, I kind of stole that right now. You know, and that's what it is. Let's make people feel good. Let's change the world for the better. Let's get together and start a movement. I've been really critical in most of my life, and I know you guys have too. You know, we face a little failure, we feel discouraged. We get a little bit of success, we don't celebrate it. We're like, when I have this much money, I'll be happy. When I have this much more success or this degree, when I go to this level of education, when I get promoted, you know, all these destinations that we're trying to reach, right? We don't celebrate our success that we have now enough. So I think if starting today, we could do one thing, we can start feeling more blessed. We can start feeling more thankful for the things that we have. We can start enjoying our little successes that don't seem good enough. They didn't seem good enough, but you know they are good enough. We can start to enjoy that. Thank you, guys.